everyone. Well, this is a great segment that we're going to have on next because a lot of people are going to want to be doing this right now, especially after the new year. I have Ganine Owens, and she is the owner of Shelf Genie. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. It's Shelf Genie of Phoenix, right?
That is correct.
Tell everybody a little bit about you and what makes you so different and why people should be listening up right now to get themselves get right up to the mic, so that people can, hear you, number one, but how they can get organized.
Well, it's kind of interesting. This is actually, I've been looking at a lot of different things as we're going into 2021, because 2020 was pretty interesting.
To say the least.
Yeah, this is the year of really kind of getting organized, right? And we all have a lot of stuff we have there, things we kept hang on to, new things. I'm guilty of it myself. And we're always trying to figure out, where do I put all this stuff, right? Or I say, where do I put all this crap, right? and it's just kind of how you organize everything, right? And so the way my company can help is that we do what we call glide out shelving. And we go in, we take a look at your space, anything that has a cabinet, and we look at it to see how can we maximize that space to be able to allow you to store the things you already have, right?
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So we do that part of it, and without you having to give up anything, right? Because that's also very challenging to be able to throw things out. And so we find ways, how do we maximize that space vertically, horizontally, so you can fit all those exact things in there and maybe a little bit more.
Now, you come with a special package about yourself. First of all, you have a long career in organization.
I do.
I want to talk about that for a minute because, listen, this is what really makes you different about this all right here, is that you come in and give them a consultation for free. Yes. But with that, you're getting your ideas.
Yes. So I am actually a self-taught organizer because I'm one of those guilty people that has a lot of stuff. Previous career of living all over the country, multiple homes, and then now downsizing, as a lot of people have, and change of career. How do I get all these things from these different places? Even though I have quote unquote purged, I still have a lot of stuff. So I have always been that person. How do I organize to get the maximum amount of things in a certain particular cabinet where people can't see them, right? I like them to be behind the door. And so when I come in, I could certainly just come in and give you exactly what you want or what you think you want. But I really care about what's going, because I can relate to everyone home that I walk into, I can relate to, because I've been there, done that, and I really get to take time to show them and give them ideas on how you can organize your space better and be a little bit more organized.
Now, when you have shelves that, like the ones that are that you can't even, you've got stuff back there, but you can't even reach it. You don't even know what's back there. There's cobwebs back there now because you've never touched it. And you actually, when you move, and you start to down, you kind of pull it out and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I had this, or I forgot I had this, right? So it's wonderful because you actually can explain to them how you can make that cabinet work for them, the ones that you would never think that you could put a gliding shelf in.
Yes, and those are the unique corners, what we call a blind corner, right? There are some solutions that are out there, but it's got to be specific measurements in order for it to work. Now, you go in the back, it pulls it out inside. We actually can go in and work with the way that it's laid out existing. And we call it a blind corner solution, and we're the only ones that do this in the country. And we're able to provide ways that all those things that are shoved in the back, and I've been in homes where people don't even know what's back there anymore,
I'm
right?
telling you.
They're like, we just use this right here because we can't even see back there, and some of them are really deep. But we're able to provide a solution where we're able to give them access to those things that are hidden in the back, to the left or to the right, where they're able to get access to it. And we recommend you put things you don't use very often, like your things you use a few times a year. Store that back there, that frees up space in other places of your home for you to put the things out that you can use on a day-to-day basis.
Now, when you work with people, are you valley-wide?
We are valley-wide.
You're valley-wide, yes. And you specialize in glides that slide.
Yes.
Shelves that slide is how you say that. But you do, we can think about it as the kitchen, right? The pantry. Where else?
Bathrooms, hall closets that we have turned into pantries, because sometimes, and I'm guilty. This has happened to me too. You have this extra closet in your home, right? And you got stuff in there, but you really could use it for all the extra things you're buying, like water and you're stocking up, because we're all stocking up, right? Because
I'll tell you what
everything's going on,
you
we
won't
always
believe
know
what
we're
I stock
stocking
up on.
Yeah, so snacks, water, all the good stuff. So we've taken what our traditional linen closets or coat closets, and we have turned them into pantries. And
It's a great idea.
yeah, and that allows folks to be able to, maybe you got stuff in the garage or stacked up in the kitchen somewhere.
My girl, she's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, well, there you go. So we can, anything that is a cabinet type thing, we can create something that will give you some usable space.
How about offices?
We can do offices.
Okay, so there's
do
almost
armoires. Anything.
So in other words,
Yes.
so let's say you have, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You've never said that before.
I know.
So armoires, let me tell you about that. So, okay, I have 7 sets of dishes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually help me organize those so that
Yes.
in my armoire that's an old piece that
Yes.
I have, you're kidding me.
Yes. I just did mine, and I didn't want to say it before because I wanted to see how it worked.
How did it work?
Right? It actually worked wonderfully. So I have I hide a lot of things back there, right? Things that are in my bedroom. But I also have one in my dining room area, which, and I've got part glass on there as well. So you can hide some of those other things you don't want people to see, and they can see the pretty dishes or whatever that looks like. But I was able to put some drawers, extra storage in there, so I can store some other things in there as well. So it actually turned out wonderfully.
Now, you do a special right now for the 50% off installation.
Yes.
That's awesome, you guys, because you're saving a lot of money right there.
Yes.
Now, you're valley-wide. Your phone number to call is 480-591-7290. What website are you using now?
So we are still at shelfgenie.com.
So we're at that? Okay,
Yep.
so it's shelfgenie.com. The number is 480-591-7290. I want you to call and just have her come and look at your armoire and have her check it out and see what she can do to make that so that you can put all your stuff in, that you got stuffed in there. Closets, can you do closets
We
as
do
well?
closets as well, yes.
It's the time of year that we're all thinking about getting organized. And whether it's your office, whether it's your armoire, whether it's your kitchen or your bathroom, they can help you become that. And one of the things that we talked about one time when you were here was about people who are disabled and how wonderful this is for them. There's a lot of old folks that listen to us. There's a lot of children with old folks that also listen to us too. But you ought to listen about this and maybe help them out. Have her come in and do a free consultation for them so that they can help. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's all about accessibility, right? Being able to make it easier for you to access things that you use on a day-to-day basis, right? So no one wants to get on a step stool or try to figure out how to grab things. So sometimes that can be a little bit dangerous. So we also try to provide ease and accessibility of things, right? They pull all the way out, extend past, little past the cabinet opening. You truly can see everything that was in that cabinet without having to get on your knees, get down and grab in the back of the cabinet. We can help you with that.
I want to also talk about the quality of your work.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, number one, we start with very high quality materials, and we are 100% custom. So when we build a box, it is absolutely going to fit the cabinet that we're looking at. We try to minimize the gaps on the side so we can maximize all the space. And so very high quality. I have certified technicians that go out, installers that go out to install things. If there's extra work that's needed, we work with other people to kind of help us so that we can make sure that we have a very professional product. I have a very little type A, so I like things to look very nice and high quality. And so we absolutely try to do a quality job.
If you want the best, this is who you call. Her phone number is 480-591-7290. The website is shelfgenie.com. We're going to go to a break. When we come back. They are the only ones in the country
Yes.
that do these shelves that's like in the blind
corner solution. Yes.
that blind corner solution, and we all have them. Check them out on her website. It's shelfgenie.com. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute.
Have you a brochure?
Do I what?
Have a brochure?
I do not have a
I can
brochure,
give you one of
but
these.
I can, if you
Give you this
want to
one.
write it down,
I can give
your
you
address, I will send you one.
Okay.
I should bring my
Yeah, but this is something
today.
Do you do financing?
We do financing.
We also cover that.
And I'll mail you a brochure. We have one online, but it's easier to kind of see it through the
Call
paper.
again, it's the blind what?
Blind corner solution.
Tell me, top shelf.
Yes,
Do you have something that cuts down?
we do.
You really?
Yeah, we do.
Uh,
So, yes.
because I'm pretty tall. I know my mom, she could never use the top two. You can look up there, you can see
Yeah.
what's in the front row, and that's it.
Yeah.
But if they had something where it pulled
Yeah.
down,
And those are usually typically over like the double ovens, they're kind of higher, and then also the microwave. You have that one that's up there. So yeah, we as long as there's nothing in there that's obstructing, because sometimes over the microwave it's got all of that, whatever that piping is that goes outside the exhaust or whatever. But sometimes it don't. Sometimes they're really deep. You just do have to put something in there where you can pull it down and it'll stay kind of exactly where you put it. And when you're done with it, you push it down.
now I've seen the half, three-quarter lazy Susan that goes in that blind corner, but it still doesn't utilize it.
No, and we don't do the 3/4. That's not even maximizing the space.
Yeah,
We're
we're gonna talk
attaching
about
the
that
door.
when we come back.
Yeah.
Because
Because you're that far away in some places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a full one. Like, yeah, we have a lot.
So, like,
Well, I'll show you. Well, it's in the brochure. It's kind of, so with that blind, let's say it's vacant over here, right? So we'll put a shelf on the top and the bottom, because there's usually a half shelf there, so we'll put a full one on the top, one on the bottom. When you're ready to get something to access in that corner, you pull these forward, these other ones slide over, then when you're done, seeing with that, whatever that is, you push it back, then you push the other one in.
So in
I
other
know
words,
it's hard to conceptualize without seeing.
it
I
sounds
should
to me
brought a
like
laptop.
you've got shelves that are back like that, and then shelves that are here.
Yes.
And so when you first pull out these shelves, and then you pull this one this way, and that way you can see the shelf, what's
Yes.
on that shelf.
Yeah.
And then you push it, we're gonna talk, she's gonna re-explain it in just a
Yes.
minute.
I know it's hard to conceptualize until you see it.
because I've seen the lazy Susan one, and that just
Well,
really
see,
doesn't.
that's a corner that goes like this.
Yeah.
Blind corners go like this.
Right.
They're like an L shape.
Here you go. So, why do I love my show is perfect example of course I love my show, but of exactly what's happening right now. So Doc is here listening to the segment, and he said right off the bat, oh, I've seen those lazy Susans in those blind cabinets,
Yeah.
and you said.
So what I said was it was a 3/4 lazy Susan. So I said the first thing is we're not totally maximizing the space because you're only getting 3/4 instead of a full lazy Susan. That's number one. Number two, that's actually a different type of corner cabinet. It's the type that kind of goes, it starts a little narrow, then it widens as you go to each side, right? So blind corners are usually L shaped, right? You can see the front part of it, but then you either got a blind to the right.
I
or
got
to the
two
left.
of them.
Yes. So that's a little bit different situation where we can actually put up to 4 different slide outs in there so that you can fully maximize the storage spaces in those cabinets.
That's amazing. So explain how you do that, because that was how it was interesting
Yes.
how we was trying to figure that out. Go ahead.
So in those L-shaped blind corner cabinets, you've got your cabinet where you're pulling forward for vertically, right? Those are the things you're using every single day. The things that are either on the right or the left are the things you never get to, right? So when you want to use that, we can put a shelf on. Usually there's a half shelf that's in the back of there, right? And most of those cabinets have those half shelves. So you've got that back there. So what we do is we actually replace that half shelf with a full shelf and a glide out that is maximized to the depth and the width of that particular cabinet. So we put that in there on the top. We can put one on the bottom as well. So when you want to get access, let's just say your blind corners to the right? So when you want to get access to that, let's say it's on the top. You take that top one, you pull it over, you slide it over to the left, then you get to see everything that's in the back of that cabinet, right? When you're done with that, you slide it back, and then you still have your things you use every single day. So those term, maybe you use a couple of times a year, right? Some of your nice dishes that you use for holidays, or if you have family dinners or whatever, you're not using them every single day. So those are the things we recommend you put in the back of that corner.
They are the only ones in the country that do shelves that are for these blind corner solutions for people out there. And they do financing. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So, as you know, we are custom, so we are not the cheapest in the valley, but we are very high quality. And sometimes, depending on the how big the job is, it can get a little bit pricey. So we provide a lot of different options for payment, and one of those is financing. And we do have interest-free financing. We feature 12 months. We also have an 18 months. And we have longer term. If you want to do something that's longer term, it's completely up to you how you want to pay. We just give you options for that, right?
And right now, they're offering for everyone to have 50% off of installation,
Yes.
which right there saves you a ton of money. The first thing to do is, I think, again, like we've been saying to everybody, pick up the phone and have her come out and do a consultation,
Right.
where you come out yourself, or you have your people that come out and actually do a consultation with you. But Janine is more of one person that what she loves to do is organize herself.
Yes.
So you're helping people come up with ideas. It's not just coming in and measuring and giving them an estimate. It's way more than that.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, even if you don't end up buying from us, I mean, it's not. We want to make sure that people are being able to, organize and have ease of accessibility in their home. And so, well, we hope you would, but we can give you ideas, because we're there to be we're a consultant, right? We take a look at your space. We take notes as you're sharing what your frustrations are. We take notes to what is your main priority, right? And so we give you ideas on how you can organize things to make your life better.
Now, the phone number to call is 405-917-2290, and her website is shelfgenie.com. I want to also talk a little bit about when you say that you can do bathrooms and offices and things like that. So, your bathroom might have a very sort of a taller cabinet underneath the sink, but of course the sink gets in the way. Is it just the one shelf on the bottom that you pull out, or can you make it so that there are more shelves in there if you want to add more storage for yourself?
We can, and it depends on what's going on with all that. The sink, how far it comes down, and all the piping that goes along with that as well. So we do have some solutions where we call them risers, where we can attach them to. We can put one big one on the bottom, or we can do two small ones side by side, and attach risers either to the existing the box that's there. We can attach it to that, so it pulls out as one single unit, or we can do two separate units where we attach it to the side of the cabinet, and then you slide it out. We can put different height around there, so that it gives them, if you have taller things, you don't want them to fall over when you pull it out, right? So we can put some protection that goes around three sides, and then you can still see the things that are in there, but when you pull it out, it's not going to tip over to the left or right when you're pulling that out.
And for you, when you talk about your quality of not just the workmanship, but the kind of product that you use.
So the materials that we use we have a designer series ad. That's the one that gives you color variations also. We try to match to what the cabinet looks like. But we use a very high quality maple. We also use Baltic birch, and there are others that use Baltic birch as well, but ours is the highest quality in each of the categories. We have one that's a hand selected, which is probably about 90% of our clients like that. It comes with a lifetime warranty. Then we also have one that's a little less than that, but still very high quality, grade C. That is also great. It comes with a 3-year warranty. So we actually bring samples out so everyone can see, touch, and feel exactly what they're going to be getting in terms of the quality. We also bring out samples that are attached to rails so they can see what the rails are like as well. That helps people kind of see what they're going to be getting, for the estimates that we're out there.
And when they see that, do you also do a diagram for them at all?
We do. We do a 3D design of their kitchen or whatever their project looks like, so they can get a glimpse of what it will look like post-install, right? So they can visualize. Because sometimes we talk about a lot of things. I mean, an hour and a half, usually about a 90-minute appointment. It goes quick. But we then leave them with, here are the things that we talked about. This cabinet will look like this, post-in, and so on and so on. So that helps them to be able to remember all of the things that we discussed during our consultation.
It's wonderful to have, and most people when they do it, when they start, they might like, say, okay, well, I want to just start off with my pantry,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But then how often do they do something else like right afterwards?
So either I come in for one thing, and pantry is a big one,
Yeah.
and then it expands into other things. Some people decide, you know what, let's just go ahead and knock it all out at one time.
Right.
Some, I've had a few people break it up in stages. And so, again, we're flexible because we understand, you know, it can be, give us a little bit of an investment, but it also adds to the value of your home. I mean, you see a lot of homes going up right now. People are selling, they're buying, and all those different things. And so, we do provide a lot of different options for that. And so, oftentimes, you know, they only want 2 of them, like 2 people up. Then well, can you look here? Can you look here? And the next, you know, we're up to 8 or 10.
I have to say,
That happens a lot.
I think also too, for the people that are downsizing, that have gotten rid of some of those things, maybe you've moved into a smaller home, but you don't have as much. So maybe your pantry's going to have a lot of food just because everyone's buying so much food right now too. But I love the idea of taking the linen closet, because now maybe you don't have as much linen anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe your kids don't live with you anymore,
Yeah.
and now there's not as much in there, but you can actually make it so that it's usable for other things.
Exactly.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
And even office right now, a lot of people are they're working from home.
Yes, they
What
are.
are you doing for people that are working from home and needs to figure out how to organize everything now?
Yes, and so, you know, it depends if they've already had some office space. It's just sometimes they have open shelves or whatever. But now you're needing some drawers to be able to store things, right? Because we're not going to the office. Some of us are not going to the office at all, and so you need some storage spaces in there. So we take a look to see what can we work with as existing. If there are some additional things, we can give ideas on that as well. But just try to help people to get organized, and you don't want everything showing,
Do you
right?
do mostly residential, or do you go through commercial and residential?
Right now, we're focused on residential. I'm not saying we would not do commercial, but yes, we're focused primarily on the everyday consumer.
But right now, you know, so many people
Yeah.
are at home, and we have so much
Yes.
right now. I know my dining room table has more stuff on it than I can possibly imagine.
Yes.
You know, all the stuff that we're buying, overbuying,
Yeah.
but now we need a place to put it, but we want to be organized. And this
Right.
is the perfect time. I'm so glad you came here. I know that that we were going to have that home show. It ended up not happening.
Yeah, they canceled the home show this year, so we're just trying to figure out what's going to happen moving forward. I mean, it's all, you know, I don't know if we're going to have another home show. We did one in October, not as big a turnout as we've had in the past, but it was a great opportunity for me to showcase, because I actually have a 10 by 20 kitchen that I set up, and I stock it like a real kitchen, so people can walk in and see. You know, you got to feel and see. They can visualize, like, oh, wow, I didn't know I could do this in my kitchen. I have that in my kitchen. This is a great idea.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe March or so, that, you know, maybe March, May time frame, that we'll be able to do something again. That way you guys can really see what an entire kitchen looks like that's outfitted with Shelf Genie
So
products.
a lot of people are working differently now today. Obviously, on your website, you have a lot of information there.
We do, and we also have updated our website because of the new environment too, that you can click on a certain cabinet and you can see what a solution would look like in there. So it's more interactive now than it was in the past. So definitely check that out, and if something interests you, which I'm sure it will, give us a call.
Now their phone number called 480-591-7290. Check them out on their website and just look at how these different solutions that they have for different areas in the house. Even your en-law, if you want, and she can make that a solution as well. It's shelfgenie.com. She is rated with the Better Business Bureau Valley-wide. They do free consultations, and right now they're offering for everybody for the 50% off installation, which is a great savings right there. There's financing, your choice as to how long or short that you want to take that. Again, that phone number to call. Let's all get organized and let's start this new year off right. That number to call is 480-591-7290. It's shelfgenie.com.